So, I wondered if we were going to have a jump tonight, and it's interesting because we just had three basically X-class flares. It was an M9.44, an X1.56, and an X3.33, which 333 is pretty interesting. I was out making a supply run tonight, and the car I parked across from actually had the plate 333 on it, and I'm like, something's going on. Because also, before we have big jumps, it can feel like we're kind of in like, it can feel super intense, like you're pulling a rubber band back, and it just gets to the point where the pressure is, it usually is like a 2-week period of where things just start to fucking tank, and people can get cranky, they try to challenge you, they try to bait you into arguments, they'll do things to kind of, a lot of ego kind of junk, and also it's psychic attacks, it's finances, tanking, it's, different things like that. Where for those 2 weeks, also it can look like your news feed, like on social media, looks a little more negative, a little more like what's going on there. And also you can see people like on your feed arguing or whatever, is going on there. So it can be tough for a couple of weeks leading up to, and then a couple of days before, and then the day of, and then the night of. So tonight it was like, I just kept feeling like, since last night actually, like what is going on? I checked the space weather last night because it felt like we had an X-class, like I can feel them before they happen. I could have sworn we had an X-class last night that maybe was not reported, or maybe I'm kind of on a lot of timelines at the same time, so it could have been on a different timeline that was very close to this one, but I felt it last night. And then tonight I was checking the space weather too, because, which I never check it, I always get the notifications, but I was checking tonight too, like, are you sure there's no X-class? Are you sure? Then a couple hours later, we got pummeled with like these three that even the M is basically an X. So that is a lot of energy. If you feel internal heating, like internally hot, make sure that you drink water, okay, right away. Don't wait, because don't wait for like the headaches. You can feel like tension headaches or heavy muscles, or your toes, your feet, your legs, your back can end up cramping if your muscles are dehydrated, right? Don't wait for that, okay? So, electrolyte water is great. Just even a pinch of sea salt in it can do that. Or, Celtic salt or mineral salt, like under your tongue, can help it'll keep the hydration in your body, so you're not like drinking it and then peeing it out, which like can flush out a couple of things, but it's not gonna, it needs to stop off in your muscles and your brain and all these places to hydrate everything. So for digestion and lots of different things, flushing out toxins, stuff like that. But hydration is really important right now. So you may have a bit of like a tension headache, or feel like soreness in your muscles. So that's really what ascension symptoms are. It's just things that your physical body is what's going through it. So ascension symptoms are only places that you have blocks or frustration or impatience or any lower vibrational anything, where that light is going to come in, and it comes in, hits your chakra system, and hits your chakra system, and it's going to crash into those blocks, and it's trying to vibrate the blocks loose. So it's any pre-existing physical conditions, any cellular stuff that's lower frequency from traumas or injuries or whatever. It's going to bump into it. The light is intelligent. It looks for the lower vibrational whatever, so that it can raise and alchemize, lift the vibration of it. That's why people who carry a high vibration are always looking for where's the problems. Hang on. So I have cranky pants over there, but that's why people higher vibration can do like, energy workers can scan someone's body and see where the issues are, or their energy field, or their, past life stuff, their Akashic records, you can detect where the lower frequency stuff is to alchemize it, what needs to be alchemized. It's really funny. I have this pattern in my readings the last week where people are, I have been compelled to have people go to the root of their narcissistic stuff, like people they've empaths who've had to deal with a narcissist, and to go to the root of that, and where did it begin with your karmic person, so we can uproot that or release it and get rid of it. And it causes tremendous healing and all that. But that's a theme right now. So If you need assistance, I'm here to assist with that, or you can do it yourself. But going to the root of your karmic stuff, even down as many past lives as it takes, and even into galactic, as far back as it goes, but to identify the root of that and uproot it and release it, okay? Because you especially with that full moon energy, that super moon energy, that was big with releasing karmic stuff, okay? So this is too, it's been going on for at least a week, where several readings, it was like, people will say, well, I hope I can figure out how to release that. And I'm like, no, we're going to do it right now. So it's like, oh, whoa, well, okay. So I think it's important to go to the root of things always anyway, go to the root, and then, to make sure that it's released. So that tends to be a theme recently. So that's really important. But because everything is alchemy, right? Everything is transmuting from lower vibrational anything to higher. So right now the energy is going to be intense. It's intense when these X-class flares happen, and it's also intense a few days later when and if they hit Earth, if there's a CME it produces, and if it's Earth facing. So these things can be really intense. So meditation, salt baths, even do some activities just for the sake of pleasure, with no outcome, with no having to be responsible, right? It's just for enjoyment. So read a book, like things that are non-resistant, where you're just going to get pulled up because you're not resisting the energy that's coming in. You're just, in this kind of passive neutral state where you're just going to get pulled up by it. But you're not, that's why you may feel like this pressure over the course of a couple weeks where it's like, I can't do this anymore. And right before the jump, that was my I quit video back in June, and we had a massive jump right after that. And so you may feel like I quit, I can't do this anymore, it's too much, it's too, life gets really tough. It does, physically, and even mentally, emotionally, it's very tough. It feels like intense, like pressure, and then like the release is the jump. So I had that, for a little bit tonight, and it was this remembering of like, we're about to jump. That's why this feels so awful. So focus on elevating your frequency no matter what. That is always a default. That's always a default. So do the things that you enjoy. Do the things that you love, no matter what whoever thinks about it, okay? No matter if you have to do shit yourself, and whatever that is. But do the things that are going to elevate your frequency, okay? So some intense energy coming in, and hang in there. I may not be able to sleep. You may be very either juiced up or short-circuited and doing a lot of sleeping. It depends. It affects people differently. So if you feel too buzzy internally, make sure you get outside and ground, or carry grounding stones. Take a salt bath. Wear copper, or hold on to something copper, or the necklaces that have like the little cage thing that holds the crystals in it. That's copper. Or even pennies. Pennies aren't, I know they're not completely copper, but they definitely help to ground you. So especially the older ones have more copper in them, but they're still going to help. They're still going to be effective. Or just getting your feet in the grass for 5, 10, 20 minutes. 20 minutes is better, but that'll help with like the excess electromagnetic too much coursing through your body, right? If you feel too buzzy inside. So just kind of roll with it. Sleep when your body wants to sleep, and but put the phone down. Take care of yourself, okay? Because there's a real expansion that happens when you put the phone down and check into your own life, and let your energy field kind of expand and do stuff for enjoyment, instead of like, I have to adult all the time and do stressful things that are difficult. So let yourself kind of go easy the next few days with this, because the energy is going to be quite intense, and use it to your benefit, use it to your advantage. So do the journaling, let go of the stuff, let yourself come up, okay? So I hope that helps. And just so I know who watched this all the way through, if you could leave a star emoji in the comments, that would let me know. I love to see who actually watched all the way through. If you want to book a session, just link in my bio, okay? Love you guys.